What's up, everyone? Welcome back to High Quality Trades, the channel where I give you my highest quality technical analysis on the stock market, and we go over simple support and resistance levels, trend line breaks, and pattern formations. And I give you the price targets of where price should be headed in the coming days. Alrighty guys, in today's video, we will be going over the SPY, the triple Qs, Facebook, Caterpillar, Google, Snow, AMD, Eli Lilly, Tesla, IBM, Apple, and HD stock. We got quite a bit to go over, so let's get into it. First up, we got the SPY on the 4-hour time frame. On Friday, the SPY managed to close out 532.99. It reached a high of 534.51 and a low of 528.56. We were positive 0.44% on the day. Slightly bullish for Friday. We did manage to break above our 531.77 resistance level. And then we have gone and tested our first downward sloping trend line that is acting as resistance at the current moment. But come Monday, if we do break above this level, it is a bullish signal for price to push up to 542.02, and we could be headed up towards our 200 period moving average here on the 4-hour, somewhere in the 543.32 level. It is possible if we break above the 542 resistance level, then we could go and test this upper descending trend line here, somewhere around 545. That is the bullish scenario for the early part of next week. But let's say price falls below 531.77. That is a bearish signal for price to fall down towards our lower ascending trend line of this broadening wedge pattern the SPY is currently in. And if that level broke as support, then we would be headed down towards 518.43. But ultimately, this would be a very bad signal for the market, and that would signal for price to fall much lower in the coming weeks. So let's hope that doesn't happen. If we bring up our indicators, we do have the MACD and the RSI both trading in our favor. The RSI is above the 20 period moving average, and no divergence yet between price and the indicator. The MACD is pushing towards the zero line. That is a bullish signal if we break through it come the early part of next week. And then I do believe if we go in the 15-minute, we are above our 200 period moving average. It is sloping upwards, and that's a bullish signal as well. If price manages to stay above the 200 period on the 15-minute, that is a bullish signal for the coming days to continue pushing higher. Alrighty, that is it for the SPY. Let's go over the triple Qs on the 4-hour time frame. So the triple Qs did find support at the lower level of its broadening wedge pattern, and it does look like we managed to get above our resistance level towards the end of the week at 446.34. If price can stay above this level, we are pushing towards 452.64, and if we manage to break above that level, is a bullish signal to probably come fill the gap here on the 4-hour time frame. And then ultimately, there's a bigger gap out on the daily that will need to be filled somewhere up towards 459. Let's go back into the 4-hour. If we do get above this gap, it is a bullish signal for price to push up to 468. Ultimately, we do have a descending trend line at this level that price may possibly get up to in the early part of next week. Let's see. Ooh, it does look like price is almost breaking out of this lower descending trend line here, which is a bullish signal for price to at least come up and test this next downward sloping trend line here on the charts. Just like SPY, the MACD and the RSI are both trading in the upwards direction, which is bullish for price. No divergences yet on the RSI, and the MACD is about to cross the zero line in the coming bars. So that is all the bullish scenario though, guys. Let's say price falls below 446.34. That is a bearish signal for price to come down and retest this lower ascending trend line of the broadening wedge. And if that level broke, well, it would be very bearish for the market. And our first support level isn't until 429.57. We could fall as low as 423.22 the early part of next week. Let's just see which way price decides to go. Yeah, we are above the 200 period moving average on the 15 minutes, so that is bullish for price to continue pushing higher come Monday. Alrighty, let's go over Facebook. So Facebook did break above its descending trend line here and did push higher towards the end of last week. We did get above our 509.42 level. That is bullish for price to push up to our next descending trend line here, somewhere in the 520 range. If price manages to get above this level, that is a bullish signal for price to push up to 531.37 in the coming days. But that's the bullish scenario. Let's say if price gets below 509.42, that is a bearish signal for price to push lower down towards our next support level at 493.18. And then if that level broke, we would be headed down to test the descending trend line here, probably in the 485 range. Both the MACD and the RSI are currently upwards, so that is bullish at the current moment. Let's just see which way price goes come Monday. Caterpillar stock. So Caterpillar did break above its longer term descending trend line. Then we broke above this shorter term descending trend line as well. These are all bullish signals for price to push higher up to the 350.24 level come the early part of next week. That is the bullish scenario. But let's say price falls back below 334.16. That's bearish for price to fall down towards 318.81. Then we could fall as low as 303.33 in the coming days. Okay, that is it for Caterpillar stock. Let's go over Google. So Google is breaking its first descending trend line here, which is a bullish signal. We first need to get above our next resistance level at 166.43 and then come fill a gap here at 167.86. Price manages to do that and then we stay above the 166 level. It is bullish for price to come up to our next descending trend line here on the chart somewhere around the 170, 171 level. And if price got above that, that is very bullish for price to push higher. But that's the bullish scenario. Let's say price does not manage to get above this 166.43 level and we fall lower. Well, we don't have any support until 161.61, and we could break below that level. And then, well, we'd have some more support at the ascending trend line here I have on the charts back from these two touch points. That would be somewhere in the 159 range. We could fall back down towards the lower ascending trend line of this broadening wedge that Google is in. But ultimately, we'll just have to see which way price goes on Monday. Let's go over Snowflake stock. Snowflake did get above its first support level here at 122.68, and we broke above our first descending trend line here on the charts. And that is bullish for price to push up to the next resistance level at 125.20, and then we need to break above this upper descending trend line around 126.96. If price is breaking above this level, that is bullish for price to come up to 132.46 come the early part of next week. So that's all the bullish scenario. Let's go over a bearish one. So if price doesn't manage to get above 125.20 and we fall lower, we have support here at 122.68. But if that level broke, then we would be headed down towards this lower descending trend line, probably around 120.41. And then really we don't have any hard support until 110.37. So those are the bullish and bearish scenarios for Snowflake stock. Okay, let's go over AMD real quick. AMD last week broke out of a falling wedge pattern. And that did put price pushing higher up towards 150.65 in the coming days. On Friday, we did fall lower to test support here at 131.99. As long as we stay above that level, it's still bullish for price to push up to the next resistance level at 139.92. We could push all the way up to a full pattern completion at 151. This is all the bullish scenario though. Say price breaks below 131.99, then we will be falling back down towards 125.17. If that level cannot hold as support, then the next support level is 120.52. Alright, let's go over Eli Lilly. Alrighty, on my last video I did tell you that we were leaning bullish on this one, and we needed to stay above 838.35 to continue pushing higher. So Eli Lilly did push higher on Friday up through its next resistance level at 885.56. So still a bullish signal for price to push higher up to 916.57 come the early part of next week. And then if that level broke, we'd head up all the way to new all-time highs at 166.40. That's the bullish scenario. Let's say that price cannot hold this 885 level. We will be falling back down probably towards this 200 period moving average on the 4 hour, somewhere in the 868 range. But if that level broke, then we wouldn't have any support until 838. So let's just see which way price decides to go on this one. Okay, let's go over to Tesla. Now, Tesla has been consolidating at the lower level of this price channel that it's currently in. It is now reaching the middle part of the price channel that is acting as some resistance. We ultimately need to break above this trend line here and push up towards this gap fill area around 208.10. If price manages to break above this level, then we don't have any resistance until 212.78. But if we get above that, that's very bullish for price to come retest the upper descending trend line of this price channel. That's what I'm looking for price to do the early part of next week. But that's the bullish scenario. Say we break below, or say this descending trend line in the middle of this price channel holds as resistance, we'll be headed back down towards the lower level of the price channel. And then it does look like we have this this pennant pattern here on the charts that would be bearish if it breaks lower. Price would then fall down towards 167.20 in the coming days. Okay, that is it for Tesla. Let's go over IBM real quick. So IBM is in this descending triangle pattern that did break out of early on Thursday last week. That did signal price to push higher up to 193.32, and a full pattern completion does complete somewhere around new all-time highs, I believe, around 205.69. Right now, we're just holding support at the descending trend line of the triangle pattern. This level does need to hold as support for price to push higher. If we fall lower back into the pattern, then we'll probably be headed down towards 187.46. We could head as low as the lower level of this triangle pattern at 182.16. Okay, that is IBM. I wanted to go over Aapl real quick because it does look like it's in a falling, broadening wedge. So we are trying to come up here and test the upper ascending trend line of the broadening wedge at 218.39. If price is able to get above this level, that is very bullish. That would signal, if we do get a full pattern completion of this broadening wedge, for a price to reach up towards new all-time highs, first needing to get above 234.46 though. And then we'll have some resistance at 222.58 as well. But that's all the bullish scenario. If this upper ascending trend line holds as resistance and we fall lower, then we'd first need to break this 214.17 level, and we could head as low as 206.42 in the early part of next week. So that's the bullish and bearish scenario for Aapl stock. Last one, guys. We went over a lot today. Let's now get into HD stock, which is Home Depot. It looks to me like Home Depot is in a double top pattern formation, and we did break below the neckline last Wednesday. We have come up to test the neckline, and it looks like it is holding as resistance at the current moment. A full pattern completion of this double top does put price falling down towards 325.69 in the coming days. We'll first need to break this support level at 441.02. If we break below that level, then 330.90 is the next support level. This looks like a double top formation, so for this to be a nullified pattern, we do need to get back above the neckline and then break this downward sloping trend line. You could perceive this as now a falling wedge pattern. So yeah, we'll have to see which way price decides to go on this one. This is both a bearish and possibly bullish setup. Let's go over the MACD real quick. So the MACD is curling up, but underneath the zero line. We do need to get back above the zero line for price to push any higher. If we remain below the zero line, that is bearish for the stock to continue moving lower. So let's just see which way price decides to go on this one. All right, guys. Oh, we do have earnings coming up on this one as well on August 13th. So just look out for that. Okay, guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching High Quality Trades, and I'll see you in the next video in the coming days. All right, goodbye.